My name is Oля. I was born in Russia in November 1985 to a pair of great parents. I was the oldest child in a family of six, so I have two brothers and one sister. They're all still in Russia. And the only thing, for as long as I can remember, all I ever wanted was to get this life right. I was very careful not to take any risks, not to deviate from the path that was set out for me by my parents and by the society. All I wanted was to be a good girl. But piece by piece, it all started falling apart. 2010, I was a young girl, an immigrant from Russia, newly married to a guy that I loved. And that marriage that I put so much hope and trust into turned out to be a prison of abuse, physical, emotional, sexual, threats of deportation. I had no family around to support me. I had no money saved up, no hope for the future at all, and no way out. I didn't know what to do and how to live. I was depressed. I cried a lot. I truly believed that something was wrong with me and maybe I didn't deserve anything better, or maybe that's just how life is once you grow up. Fast forward about a year. Freshly divorced, recovered from a suicide attempt, I was more than confused about life. I worked myself hard at dead-end jobs. I was doing things like waiting tables, cashiering. Days were long, nights were even longer. Dancing, that was the only thing that brought me some kind of joy, which at that point felt more like relief from the reality. So at that time, I actually started practicing visualizations. I still believe that someday, some way, maybe I'm going to have an okay life. Maybe I'm going to make it work somehow. So I visualized myself getting married to a good man, moving into a house, graduating college, all the things that you would normally associate with a normal or good life, okay? And they all came true. I did graduate college here at Dixie State in St. George, Southern Utah, with a degree in human communications. I did get married to a good man. I got a dog, a house, a car, had a baby. All the things came true. And with all that good life, or what it seemed to be, it was a shame to be unhappy. But I was. My health kept yo-yoing between extremes. One day I was putting myself on a starvation diet and spent hours a day exercising. And the next day I was on the couch eating everything that just looked good in commercials. I clearly still remember the days when I would sit in a beanbag all day long, watching Twilight movies over and over and stuffing my face with candy and chocolate all day long. And you know what? Even with a new baby, my life seemed purposeless. I hated myself. All the relationships in my life seemed just meaningless. Nothing brought joy anymore, not even the baby. Even the dancing, that one thing that pulled me through hard times consistently. Before, I was thinking about quitting that because even that wasn't keeping my positive energy levels up to the level of survival, let alone something past that. So again, I was depressed, and this time I didn't see a reason to be depressed, so I was convinced something is wrong with me. The I'm okay mask that I was wearing in public was getting tiring, so I tried my hardest to just avoid people and be social just enough so that other people don't get concerned about me. That was no life to live. Of course, there's always medication. That was one option. You Good thing I didn't believe in that, so I didn't go for it. So what did I do? I just gave up on happiness altogether. I gave up on following the rules and public opinions. So I started searching for something that made sense to me in this world. At that point, I became a match to motivational speakers, writers, spiritual teachers. I was listening to their podcasts and spending hours on research. Seek the unusual, find. You don't even have to know what you're looking for. I was just looking for something to come to me. So my healing began. I literally knew nothing for sure anymore. My mind was a blank page. So after hours and hours of watching the videos, listening to materials, reading, researching, thinking, meditating, I realized that my problem was that I wasn't living my life. I was following everything and anything but my heart and my joy. So I started learning how. I started taking little baby steps towards finding myself again. I learned how to say no to what felt wrong and yes to what felt right, even though I had no idea how to explain why. But I did that. I learned how to make peace with my demons in my head and conquer my fears. I learned how to open my heart to the world and be vulnerable and be okay with it. That was a hard one. I learned how to love myself little by little, just with all my quirks and all my imperfections, which are many, trust me. And like that, drop by drop by drop, I filled my cup. It didn't take very long, surprisingly, and naturally I reached the point when I was ready to share it with others and kind of pay it forward. So then I started taking little steps towards that, acting upon that desire to share it with the world. I was making self-development, personal development videos on YouTube in Russian, and then I was teaching dance again and sharing healthy recipes and working out again, letting go of a few toxic relationships, of course, and just spending my last dollars on creating that uplifting atmosphere in my home, something that made me feel good in my heart. So, as you can see, these steps and actions didn't make any sense and were all over the map if you look at it from, the linear perspective of our 3D reality and time. I did not have a game plan. I had no idea where I was going with that. All I knew that I was following my heart. Next thing I know, oh, yes, it was a holiday season. Right at that time, holiday season was approaching, 2015. Money was tight. My husband was a full-time student. He still is to this day. I had a 16-month-old that I just couldn't imagine that I would go to a 9-to-5 job and leave him with somebody I don't know, daycares, nannies. He can't even speak. And everybody that I knew and trusted were either too far away, like my parents in Russia, or they were busy here with their own lives and their own jobs. I couldn't imagine just leaving my kid to somebody else like that. And then I was, of course, getting impatient for answers at that point. I was still hoping that maybe there is something else in this world for me that, other than the good old job and a paycheck, half of which is gonna go to daycare. So next thing I know, I met a girl who introduces me to coaching. It sounded like exactly what I needed, almost too good to be true. So of course, I researched it, and I'd get to help people change their lives and gain their confidence back and improve their health and work through their insecurities and fears and make their personal and financial dreams come true. And I'd get to do it my way, and I'd get to earn a living doing that. So of course, for years I was such a paranoid skeptic, so I started looking for the catch. I already knew and loved Beachbody programs. I've done them in the past. I started with P90X, but I had to research business building. I had to research Shakeology, and I was still scared. I was still paranoid. I was scared of the network marketing idea. I did not want to sell anything. I did not want to turn into that icky salesperson that everyone avoids. And of course, I was scared of commitment. What if I fail? My self-esteem would just take a nosedive. But if I didn't commit, I wouldn't really have to try. I would have an excuse to be lazy and to not face my fears. Good thing by then I knew that kind of attitude doesn't get you anywhere. So I did. I took that leap of faith. I took it and I ran with it. And here I am today, sharing my story with you all, in hopes that it will inspire and help one person to change their lives for the better, to realize that there's good stuff out there. You just have to go for it. You just have to go for it and take it. I am hoping to find somebody who will learn to love themselves, to approve of themselves, to make something better out of their reality, to believe in the good, to believe in the dreams. And you know what? I don't care who you are. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what your past looks like and what you think you cannot do while others can. What you have is right now, and what you're working for is your future. You still have that future you can build, and you can start building it now how you want it, not how somebody else told you should. It is never ever too late. That is one thing I know for sure now. That's my story. Thank you guys. Bye.